Hi, this is thought I'd try and make a video for YouTube. Everybody else seems so helpful when you're trying to fix something. So this is for a wall for Garten, and I've pretty much stripped it down now. So I'll have to recap. And the problem I had, just turn this camera now. Right, the problem I had with this mower is that the power is getting to the starter, but the ignition key was just the ignition was allowing the power to the starter motor terminal, and it would just click, and I could tap the bottom of the starter motor to get it going for a little while, and then it stopped doing that. Now I've stripped it all down, and I'll just show you. I'll just show you what the starter motor is like and how much you can strip it down. This is it here. This is the top of it. There. And the spindle and body and base are all together. And if you undo these bottom bolts here that go up through this base, through the mechanism, and screw into here, there, if you can see this, screw into there. So once you get the starter motor off, and I'll show you how I did that in a moment, you can take the starter motor apart. It's quite easy. You take the bottom bolts out, and the main part of the motor pulls out, and then you have to gently tap. Oh, that's magnetic. So you have to gently tap this spindle for this space to come out, and then it all pulls apart anyway, because this spindle, which I can't pull out one-handed, has got the armature and commutator here underneath. Now the brushes, the 4 brushes, have got their little guides here. 2 of them are insulated, they must be the live ones, and 2 of them are earthed, which are the negative ones. But each of these guides got the spring in there, and the brushes, there was 3 poking up and probably touching the underside of this commutator, but one of them or 2 of them were stuck, and I think that was where it got overheated. So what I've done is just taken these apart. There was little burnt bits of moulding. There's little burnt bits of moulding around here to stop these things sliding. And yeah, these springs go in there and just push the brushes up against the bottom of this commutator. So I didn't need a new starter motor, hopefully. I just needed to free these brushes. So I've done that. These are the 4 brush springs, and then it just slides back together, hopefully, which I'm going to do. But before I do that, I'll tell you in reverse how I got to it. There's a fair bit of dismantling, but it's all quite straightforward. So I think the first thing I had to do is take this off, and that was just a screw there and a couple of screws at the back. So that's the top part. This next part then comes off. You have to take the knobs off of the controllers. You have to unplug the electrics under there, which just unplugs. And there's 4 bolts there, which bolted the seat on there. Oh, so just took the seat off, just straightforward. Then this comes off, and you've got the accelerator or the throttle here. Now there's a little cover that goes over the screws, which is this thing. So you have to peel that off. Peel that off from here, take those screws out, and then this throttle arrangement drops down. So that's just hanging down there. So once that tops off, you can then take this plate. I'll just put this petrol tank, which really conveniently slides in and out of this housing, right? So if you take that plate off of there, which is just bolts, and then once that's off, you can then get to the starter motor, which is here. You can pretty much take that one off with this thing, this bolt, and the other one's a bit tricky until you realise that this petrol tank does is one-handed afterwards. Anyway, just put that there. That's okay. Right, so the petrol tank slides out of the way and you get to this other bolt. And then the starter motor just comes off of there. You have to disconnect the live lead to it, which is just a spanner. And hopefully what I'm going to do is put this starter motor back together, and hopefully have all these springing up against the commutator face there, so it can pick up. Hopefully this is just going to screw back together, and I'm going to then just test it. I'm going to earth out the casing against the battery terminal. I'm just going to put the power up against the power connection there, and on the other side of the battery, and just try and give it a whirl to make sure it works before I just put it back together. But hopefully, if this works, I'm going to assume it does, unless well, if it doesn't work, I'll put another video on. But this is yeah, hopefully gonna work, and that I will have stopped this video before then. So yeah, so hopefully it's all going to go back together, and you won't need, I don't even need new brushes, hopefully, because it's still ½ an inch long. And yeah, and I expect the starter motor on this, if you can get one, which I'm sure you can, is probably 50 to 100 quid. There's my little mower. And yeah, it's quite a straightforward job. It's quite a straightforward job. You need a fair few spanners and screwdrivers. That's pretty much all I've needed so far. Yeah. So don't be afraid, have a go.